So you're just trying to bide your time, and I can't imagine what that's like. Just the sheer, you want to get out there and feel that excitement of Game 1 in the finals, and yet you're waiting for this really other good series going on right now at West.
Well, and the other thing about it is you start reading the headlines about how great you are, and you might start, taking that seriously and listening to knuckleheads like us say, oh, man, these guys, they're the hottest team in basketball right now, man. They keep this up, they're going to bring a championship back to New York. Like, there's all these different elements that, you always hear athletes say we just block out the noise. How do you block out the noise when you ain't got nothing going on? You know what I mean? At least
the only thing you got going on is noise.
Exactly. That you're hearing noise from your friends, from your family, your teammates in practice, because again, it's practice. They're probably goofing around a little bit where it's like, oh, hey, here's a foul on me, or you know what I mean, or whatever, just kind of emulating what these different guys will do. It's hard, man. Like Mike Brown said, it's so hard to replicate and create that competition that you'll see in game action. But they found a way to rebound in Game 1 against the Cavs. But to your point and Mike Brown's point, can't do that in Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
I mean, the good news is that they're going to have a little bit more time after this game, because Game 7 tomorrow night, and then, as you mentioned, the finals starting on the 3rd. And with some of these other series, we've had to see them almost kind of try to lock in right away, because it's Game 7, and then 2 nights later, it's Game 1 of the next series. So you know who you're going to be playing at the end of tomorrow night. By this time tomorrow, you're going to know who you're playing. You know which team. Okay, that means Sunday you can start locking in on that game plan, and you can go from that kind of having fun, maybe goofing off to try to keep it light to help pass the time to, all right, now we've got a couple of days where we can get some serious work in, watching film, putting together whatever game plan we need to before we hit the NBA Finals on the road on Wednesday.
When the clock hits 0-0-0 in OKC, it gets real.
Yes.
Right? It's okay, now it's real. Now we know, like you said, who our opponent is. Now I know what film to study. Now we're thinking about matchups. How do we slow down this guy? How do we slow down that guy? How do they slow us down? Right? So now that's when it's really it's go time and time to lock in. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be intriguing. I'm not ruling the Knicks out. I know a lot of folks aren't giving the Knicks a whole lot of credit. They think that the winner's automatically going to come out of the West. I'm not ruling them out, man. They're the hottest team in basketball right now.
I used to be that guy.
I was too.
But the way they've played, you're a fool if you haven't changed your mind about the Knicks being a real contender in this series because of how well they've played over the last 11 games.
They always say, you just got to have a puncher's chance. The Knicks have a puncher's chance and then some. He's Gabe Neitzel. I'm Q Myers. What about Giannis? Where's he ended up? That's next.
All the dunks.
Cunningham to the basket. And he dunks it with the left hand.
The dimes.
Doncic lofts it for James. Slams it home.
The daggers.
Gilgeous Alexander open three. Bang, he got it. And the Thunder have taken the lead.
The NBA playoffs are on. ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC. Presented by Gusto.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installations with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599. 800-717-4599.
When you manage procurement for multiple facilities, every order matters. But when it's for a hospital system, they matter even more. Grainger gets it and knows there's no time for managing multiple suppliers and no room for shipping delays. That's why Grainger offers millions of products in fast, dependable delivery, so you can keep your facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ian Fitzsimmons here, and I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I was skeptical about ordering plants online. Like, this is actually going to show up alive at my house. But after my wife and I ordered from Fast Growing Trees, convinced. They have this thing down to a science. They've built a whole system to protect your plants until they arrive. They even have a lab where they test against cold, heat, humidity, you name it, any condition, they've got it. And they thrive. We couldn't believe how good our plants looked when they arrived at our doorstep. And everything showed up exactly how we expected. A perfectly healthy plant that was easy to unbox and ready to go. Every order is backed by their Alive and Thrive guarantee, and you'll get ongoing support from real, knowledgeable experts. They have unbelievable deals on spring planting essentials, and right now, you can get an additional 20% off your first order with the code SPORTS at checkout. That's 20% off at fastgrowingtrees.com with the code SPORTS. Terms and conditions apply. Again, that's fastgrowingtrees.com, code SPORTS.
I like things my way. My coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vyvgart Hytrulo pre-filled syringe, which contains efgartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VyvgartMyWay.com. That's VYVGART myway.com. And talk to your doctor about Vyvgart Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.
This is SportsCenter.
Down in Carolina, the Hurricanes, for the third time in franchise history, heading back to the Stanley Cup final. They finish off the Montreal Canadiens tonight by the final score of 6-1. Scored 3 goals in the first period, really put it away with 2 more in the second, and a final one in the third period. No start date yet, but the Hurricanes going to be taking on the Las Vegas Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup final. In the NBA Western Conference Finals, Game 7 tomorrow night, right here on ESPN Radio, but the Thunder already know they're going to be without their star Jalen Williams against the San Antonio Spurs. Williams initially aggravated a left hamstring in Game 2, did not play Games 3, 4, and 5, and only played 10 minutes last night in Game 6, so they decided to already rule him out for that. The Knicks waiting on the other side of the Western Conference Finals in the NBA Finals. And their center, Mitchell Robinson, he still plans on playing Game 1 of the Finals. He's going to wear a brace on his hand. He had to undergo surgery on a broken right pinky, sources telling ESPN Shams Charania on Friday. Knicks head coach Mike Brown told reporters on Friday that Robinson then had the surgery as well, but nobody really quite saying when the injury happened. Brown said center was not injured in Game 4 or in practice. Knicks declined to give further details on that injury. Outside of the playoffs in the NBA, the Orlando Magic are finalizing a deal to hire San Antonio Spurs associate head coach Sean Sweeney as the franchise's new head coach. Sweeney was the lead assistant for the Spurs this year, ran their defense. He's replacing Jamal Mosley, who was fired after the Magic lost in their opening round series to the Detroit Pistons. Meanwhile, in college football, Brandon Sorsby apparently placed 40 bets involving Indiana football while he was a quarterback for the Hoosiers. Spent over approximately $90,000 over 4 years, continued to gamble after transferring from Cincinnati to Texas Tech. He's trying to get reinstated to the NCAA after they said he would not maintain his eligibility. Texas Tech appealing that. He will have a hearing Monday in Lubbock. More Game Night coming your way next. Myself, Q Myers, on ESPN Radio.
Coming up on the Monday edition of Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and me, Michelle Smallman. While we rightfully praise Jalen Brunson for getting the Knicks in the finals, I'll tell you the other players who deserve just as much love. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
ESPN Radio.
The Bucks are open for business on trade calls and offers for two-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo.
As far as Giannis' stance, I'm told nothing has changed. So now the conversation will turn to where does he want to be long-term? Because he only has one guaranteed year left on his deal that gives him significant sway and power over his future.
There's going to be a lot of people in the running trying to get Giannis. But you got to have another star there and some shooting around him.
This is Game Night with Q Myers on ESPN Radio.
There is not a time when my tag team partner, Gabe Neitzel, is on this show that I can't bring up Giannis. Because I have to. It's in my contract, Gabe. It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal.
Feels a little personal.
I know it feels personal, but that's, it's like when you laugh at someone, but you're really laughing with someone.
Sure.
It's never personal. It's what they say, always business, B. Just business. That's how we roll. Gabe Neitzel, who's located conveniently there in Milwaukee, holding it down for ESPN Milwaukee, is also holding it down for us here on Game Night on ESPN Radio, the all-new ESPN app, SiriusXM Channel 80, and TuneIn. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. So the Magic have found their guy as the head coach. Right, Sean Sweeney, who is an assistant, a lead assistant, as a matter of fact, in San Antonio. Gabe, before we even get into Giannis, Sean Sweeney is a big deal in San Antonio. He's the guy who really orchestrates. He's like their defensive coordinator, right? I mean, he's a guy who's a really big deal. And right on the eve of them about to play in a Game 7, the biggest game in Wemby's career for sure, the biggest game that Mitch Johnson is going to coach, their head coach, we all find out that his lead assistant is on his way to Orlando now. He's going to keep coaching out the rest of the season. That might last one more game. That might go into the NBA Finals, but has to be a little kind of bittersweet for the Spurs that know they're losing their guy regardless.
Yeah, because, their defense has been so good, and he's been such a big part of that. And anytime you see this, which, again, when you have a good, associate head coach, lead assistant, the way Sean Sweeney is, you always recognize there's a possibility that he might go somewhere, especially because the Spurs have had so much success throughout the course of the season. So I think, yes, they knew this was a possibility, but maybe they were hoping maybe next year.
Right.
Maybe we can win a championship with him this year, next year, and then he can become a head coach somewhere else.
Well, and then someone right now is thinking, all right, well, Q, you started talking about Giannis. Now you're talking about Sweeney. How do the two coincide? Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, Sweeney has experience working with Giannis in Milwaukee, also Luka in Dallas, obviously Wemby in San Antonio. So do you think, Gabe, as there's so many eyes on Milwaukee, what's going to happen with Giannis? Is he going to get traded? When is he going to get traded? More importantly, where is he going to get traded? What do you think about the fit with Sean Sweeney and Orlando? Do you think that Orlando has what it takes to land a guy like Giannis? If anyone would know what it's going to take, it'd be you.
Yeah, I think Orlando would probably be a team that would have to have a third team involved just to get the picks. Because they traded a bunch of their picks for Desmond Bane, right? So they wanted to go out and get Bane this past offseason, and so they'd probably have to get another team involved, and they would probably have to give up someone like Paolo Banchero. I don't know how interested they would be in that.
Right.
But Sean Sweeney was an assistant for the Bucks at a very pivotal time of Giannis's career after Jason Kidd came in as the head coach, and then that's where Sweeney would coach under Kidd again when Jason was the head coach in Dallas. But when Giannis started to grow from this 18-year-old, real skinny kid from Greece and started transforming into the Greek freak and
into a man, baby,
into the incredible Hulk-like figure he is now,
right?
He was a huge part, and Giannis and him were very close.
Yeah,
like they were very, very close in his time here in Milwaukee, which is why people are bringing that up because those relationships are always important to Giannis. Giannis is a loyal guy. It's part of the reason why I think the relationship in Milwaukee has even gone on this long at this point, and he always wanted to try to make it work in Milwaukee. So having those touch points, and John Hammond, the guy who drafted Giannis, still has a hand of what's going on in the front office for the Magic. So I think that's why now the Magic could be one of those teams. Because, we know the Magic are willing to be aggressive. Mm-hmm. They were aggressive last year. We were just joking about that. But that was an aggressive move to go out and get him.
Yep.
And then they were disappointing this last year. That was a young team. Not that I was expecting them to be like the Spurs and go on this run where they could get to the NBA Finals. I was expecting them, especially in a down Eastern Conference, to take a step forward this year.
Right.
And they just didn't do it. So they certainly have expectations where they want to win. They think they have a good young core. And maybe, trading for Giannis and getting somebody who's won a championship and getting a coach that Giannis is really comfortable with would be a spot where Giannis would go, yeah, I'll go to Orlando. That's a place I'd be okay playing.
Let me ask you this, because I get the whole tie-in with the coach that he's comfortable with, and Orlando has some nice pieces right now. But if they were to entertain a trade, obviously they have to give up some assets. Like you said, a third team would have to get involved probably. Would Giannis really be interested in going there with the thoughts of, hey, I want to win? Right? Because that's what it's all about. If you know what I mean? If it was just, hey, I want to be comfortable, hell, he's comfortable in Milwaukee. Right? I mean, he's treated like a king. I ain't got to tell you. I mean, he walks on water in Milwaukee.
Yeah, and the Bucks just hired a coach he's comfortable with, too. Now, doesn't have the relationship with Taylor Jenkins the way he did with Sean Sweeney, because Jenkins was just here for a season under Mike Budenholzer, but certainly has that relationship with Taylor Jenkins as well. And that's, honestly, when it comes to trading Giannis, I think that's the toughest part. Because the teams that we've heard at this point that would be really interested, okay, the Golden State Warriors, they were interested at the trade deadline.
Oh.
Okay.
So was I.
Are the Warriors really going to compete with OKC and San Antonio if they have Giannis?
No. I don't think so, and it pains me to say that. It really does. I don't see it.
I agree with you, and that's why I think there have been whispers of, maybe Giannis prefers to stay in the East, which, again, makes sense because the two teams that are currently playing each other in a Game 7 tomorrow night. Okay, so the Miami Heat. If the Heat go out and get Giannis, that ain't good enough. I mean, they're going to have to, in order to be good enough, they would have to make some other move. Right. And I don't know what kind of assets they would have left after giving up what it would require to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. So the entire interesting thing, the whole interesting thing of this Giannis saga to me is, okay, where can he actually go and compete for the second championship that he desperately desires?
Right.
And I haven't seen that team really step up. Now, Orlando would be better. I mean, Orlando would be, a top 4 team in the East then?
Yeah, I just don't know what they have to give up. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if they give up Paulo, that's all. That's no bueno. Right. Yeah. That's a problem. That's a problemo. Right.
Yeah. So that's the interesting part is, at what point does Giannis look around and go, am I really better off here, or am I just better off staying in Milwaukee and signing the Supermax and getting more money to stay in Milwaukee and try to see if we can cobble something together here. Now, again, where I think things could get really interesting is if OKC loses tomorrow night and decides, hey, we need somebody that can defend against Wemby.
Don't you go there. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, but don't go there. Right? They're already angry at OKC. They already got the pitchforks and the knives out because they don't like to watch them. And then if they were to add that monster too, oh man, come on now.
But they would also have, they would be a team that could give up young assets and draft picks and not blink an eye.
Right.
And still be an incredibly competitive team. Now, again, they're favored tomorrow, so who knows if that's the way it ultimately plays out. But right now, and we're still in the early stages of this, although we're less than a month away from the NBA draft, and that's the deadline that Bucks ownership has kind of put on this, or they said they would like to have it resolved by the time the NBA draft rolls around. I'm curious to see what teams step up and what teams Giannis can truthfully look at after seeing the package that team would give up for him and go, yeah, we can make a run at another championship if I go there, even though they're giving up all these pieces.
Like you said, time is ticking when it comes to the NBA draft. That is the timeline that's been put in place. What does your gut feeling tell you? Not what team he's going to go to. Is he going to go somewhere when it's all said and done?
I kind of feel like he is, too, just because there was a lot of trust lost with the way the saga played out at the end of the season of Giannis wanting to play, the Bucks not wanting to clear him. Ultimately, the NBA, Giannis filed a grievance against the Bucks through the NBA PA. Right. Ultimately, that was cleared, and the Bucks aren't going to have to pay any sort of penalty, and they did not do anything wrong in the eyes of the league. But there's a lot of trust that needs to be rebuilt, and I don't think they can rebuild it by the time the draft rolls around, which means I think he ultimately ends up someplace else.
That's going to be one of the biggest storylines that we follow and pay attention to. Where will Giannis end up if it's not Milwaukee? He's Gabe Neitzel. I'm Q Myers. We talked about SGA and the legacy game, right? That's what they're calling it for tomorrow for Game 7. What would winning a title for one Jalen Brunson, what would that mean for him? what would that mean for the Knicks? That's next on ESPN Radio on the all-new ESPN app.
Turin, Italy. History built this city. Now a new story begins.
The first ever premium live event to be held in Italy. High stakes, high pressure. This is what we call must-see.
Stream Clash in Italy Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern on the ESPN app with the ESPN Unlimited plan.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Buster Olney here for La Quinta by Wyndham. Summer work travel can feel like extra innings, long days, late nights, and not a lot of room to stretch out, especially when your hotel room feels more like the dugout than the clubhouse. But when you stay at La Quinta by Wyndham, you can step up to spacious suites that give you room to relax, recharge, and get ready for the next day. I always feel like I need that when I'm traveling on the road covering ball games. Plus, you can earn Wyndham Rewards points with every qualified stay. Because when you've got space to unwind, you're always playing at your best. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book your next work trip at laquinta.com. Terms and conditions apply.
When energy dips or focus feels off, hydration is often the missing piece. That's where Drip Drop comes in. Drip Drop is doctor-developed, proven, fast hydration that helps your body and mind work better. Exactly what the 2026 version of you needs. Using science-based formulas for rapid hydration, Drip Drop helps you feel results fast while delivering 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. It's trusted by firefighters, medical professionals, and over 90% of top college and pro sports teams because it's engineered to hydrate more effectively than water alone, making it a smart choice for better habits that actually stick. Drip Drop also just dropped Zero Sugar Plus, a breakthrough formula with an advanced blend of 6 key electrolytes, 15 essential vitamins and nutrients, and no sugar or artificial sweeteners. It's the complete package that truly checks all the boxes. Across the board, Drip Drop tastes amazing, with 16 original flavors and 8 Zero Sugar Plus options that fit seamlessly into a daily routine. And flexible subscription options make it easy to stay consistent. Right now, Drip Drop is offering our listeners 20% off your first order. Go to dripdrop.com and use promo code SPORTS. That's dripdrop.com, promo code SPORTS for 20% off. Stock up now at dripdrop.com and use promo code SPORTS.
I understand that Jalen Brunson may be on his way to New York.
Yeah, there's no maybe about it. And this is something that has become pretty clear here in recent days. And obviously, there's some deep family ties with the Brunsons and the Knicks.
You know what the Knicks are doing? They're doing their damnedest to be a first-round playoff fodder for a good team.
I know some teams maybe have you wondering, what are we doing here? Who's that?
It's the New York Knicks. And look, I like Jalen Brunson. Kevin Durant requested a trade today. And the New York Knicks, they were solely sold on landing Jalen Brunson that they're not even thinking about arguably fixing up a deal to land arguably the best player in the world.
It is something that they need, and it will improve their team. It's just not time to plan a parade.
Not a savior in any way, shape, or form. I just want to be able to contribute to the team. Try to help this team win games.
Not saying he's a savior, but he's a really good player, and he's doing some really good things in New York with the Knicks. And boy, little turn back the clock to win the moment. Jalen Brunson decided to make the move from Dallas to New York. A lot of people were ho-hum about the move, and now everyone's flying high that Jalen Brunson and the Knicks are in the NBA Finals.
More on this in just a moment, but Q, we got another one.
That's sick.
Another UCLA home run. They're up 11-0 on Arkansas in the Women's College World Series.
What is that, 4 or 5 home runs in the game?
I think that's 4. Could have been 5 because the one hit the top of the wall.
That's right. That's sick. 11-0, top of the 5th, UCLA pulling out the whooping stick. Wow, it's game night here on ESPN Radio. The all-new ESPN app, SiriusXM Channel 80 and TuneIn, presented by Progressive Insurance. He's game night, so I'm Q Myers. And so far, so good when it comes to Jalen Brunson and everything that he's done since being a member of the Knicks and how they continue to grind and get better. And, you know, they make the controversial move at the end of last year to move on from Tibbs. They hire Mike Brown. I didn't think it was a great move at the time. I'm eating my words now because here they are in the NBA Finals. And again, Jalen Brunson has been the engine that has made everything go. The straw that stirs the drink, that's been Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, it absolutely has. And I mean, he transformed into a completely different player ever since he showed up in New York. Mm-hmm. And he went from, pretty good player in Dallas to growing into a, 28-point per game guy, a guy who's the last 3 years has been, second team All-NBA. He's getting MVP votes. He's made the All-Star team the last 3 years. And he's been one of the guys in the league. And a lot of that is also because of how good he's been in the postseason. Their past postseason failures last year, not getting out of the Eastern Conference Finals and not advancing as far as they would like the years before, not because of Brunson, because Brunson's one of those rare guys that's been able to elevate his game and somehow be better when the postseason hits.
But don't let us tell you, don't let us convince you, don't let Gabe Neitzel or Q Myers tell you how great Jalen Brunson is. How about we hear more on Jalen Brunson, how he became the new king of New York? Here's ESPN Radio's Christine Lisi.
They've been one of the least successful and most unstable franchises in the NBA. But that's all in the rearview mirror now. For the first time since 1999, the Knicks are in the NBA Finals.
The key catalyst for the New York Knicks' first trip to the NBA Finals in 27 years has unsurprisingly been their captain, Jalen Brunson. Brunson's arrival in the summer of 2022 was a turning point for the franchise. Over the past 4 seasons, New York has won 35 playoff games. They'd won 10 in the 22 seasons prior to that. Knicks center Karl Anthony Towns.
I think he just puts the work in. He showcases that every single day to all of us, and it drives us all to be better.
Brunson's 1,633 points so far as a member of the Knicks in the playoffs are the 4th most in a player's first 4 postseason appearances with a team. He's risen to the occasion when the lights are shining the brightest, averaging over 25.6 points per game in over 80 career playoff games. That's 6 more points than he averages in the regular season, the largest increase among players with at least 50 career playoff games. Knicks head coach Mike Brown.
He helps me relax at a lot of different times throughout the course of games, but that's what great players do. They keep you poised, they make the game easier for everybody else.
Brunson's 8 40-point playoff games are already the most in Knicks franchise history, as are his 26 30-point playoff games. His 28 times leading the Knicks in points and assists in the playoffs are tied with Walt Clyde Frazier for the most in Knicks history. Knicks guard Mikal Bridges.
Just shows that he just plays the right way. Ever since I've known him, he played the right way. So just kudos to him and how he works and his understanding of the game.
During this year's run to the finals, Brunson leads the Knicks with just under 27 points per game. He joins Steph Curry, Allen Iverson, Gus Williams, and Hal Greer as the only players 6'2" or shorter to average at least 25 points while reaching the finals. ESPN NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins.
This man is on the verge and has the opportunity to become the greatest Knick ever and change the narrative, because the narrative has been what? You can't win with a small guard leading the charge. Big body Brunson is changing that.
With Brunson leading the way, the Knicks are riding an 11-game win streak and dominating teams. Their 11 double-digit wins in the playoffs and plus 19 points per game differential are both the highest entering the finals in NBA history. Brunson on becoming the heart of this Knicks team.
The belief that the organization has in me has been amazing, and it's something I don't take for granted, and it's something that not a lot of people get the opportunity to do so. So I'm very thankful. It's an honor to be here in this city for this organization and with my teammates.
So first and foremost, love the music Christine chose, right? Your little Lion King in there. Second of all, one of the quotes in there that stood out to me is changing the narrative. Kendrick Perkins talking about changing the narrative of, hey, you can't get this done with an undersized guard.
Right.
But that's not the only narrative that exists out there to me here, because typically the prerequisite for winning an NBA championship, and I think this is basically true going back to 2004 when the Pistons won, is you need one of the top 5 guys in the sport in order to get it done. You need one of those top 5 guys, somebody who is looking at, being all NBA. You need Shea. You need Jokic. You need Giannis. You need Steph Curry. You need Kawhi Leonard. Kevin Durant. You need LeBron. One of those guys to get this thing done. And this is me. I'm not trying to throw shade at Brunson. But again, he's never been first team All NBA.
Right.
He's not finishing top 3 in the MVP votes. He's still a really good player. And again, levels up once we hit the postseason.
He's clutch in the postseason, right?
Yeah, but typically you need one of those top 5 or 6 guys, and he's probably in the top 10. You might be 8, 9, 10, 11, somewhere in there, depending upon how you want to do the rankings. Typically you need somebody who's just a little bit better than he is. But that's another narrative he could potentially be changing. The Pacers almost did it last year.
Yeah.
And they did it with depth. So that's what's also amazing about this team is the Knicks aren't as deep as like the Pacers were last year or OKC is this year. They've just been able to do it with the guys that they have going 7, 8 deep, and Brunson being the postseason stud that he is.
Yeah, and he just gets on a heater, and that postseason magic, he starts to feel it, and he comes up big, clutch for his team, and they go as he goes. Like the Spurs go as Wemby goes. The Knicks go as Jalen Brunson goes. And even if he's not having a big game where he's scoring 27, 28 points, he's dishing the ball, and someone else is knocking down buckets. So he has been a godsend for the Knicks. And I'll tell you, when they made that move, I thought, that's a good move. Who else are they bringing in? You know what I mean? Like, who's gonna be the other guy? Who's gonna be Batman? Because that's a really good Robin right there.
Good complementary player. He's probably going to continue to grow in New York, but you probably still need that stud to be alongside next to him. And all he has done is proven that he can be the best player right now on an Eastern Conference champion team, but I'm not writing this team off.
No.
The way that they've been playing, and I know it's easy to write the Knicks off because they had an easy route. And yes, some teams took care of some business for them. The Sixers taking out the Celtics, so they don't have to go through that in the first round. In that round, the Pistons losing, so you're not facing either of the top 2 seeds in your run. But again, the 10-game winning, the first 10 games, and I'm sure it's true if you had the 11th game because they won that one by 30-plus points.
Right.
It's the largest point differential of an 11-game winning streak in NBA history. Not just postseason history, regular season history. And the East isn't as good, but these are still teams that made the playoffs. The Sixers are still a team that beat the Celtics. Like, they are playing as good of basketball as you could possibly ask for this time of year.
Well, and there's something to be said about getting hot at the right time as well. Right? Because that was my problem with the Knicks when the postseason started. I thought they weren't going to make a deep run because they were inconsistent. And once Atlanta gave them a little bit of a push, they found out how to get consistent real quick.
But here's where Mike Brown has been the right hire.
Yep.
Because he's making adjustments that Tibbs just, no, this is what we do.
Yep.
This is how we do it. Not making any changes. That is not what Mike Brown's done this postseason.
So what is it going to take? What are we looking for in Game 7? That's next on Game Night here on ESPN Radio.
What's up? It's Gary and Randy. Today on SC Plus, only on Disney Plus. Spurs dominate, and now we get the best 2 words in sports. Game 7. Death, taxes, and Paul Skeens not getting run support. Plus, we have a fresh batch of not top plays out the oven. And we find out who's the better speller between us. Spoiler alert, nobody wins. All that and more today on SC Plus.
Are you ready to Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
If you work in university maintenance, Grainger considers you an MVP because your playbook ensures your arena is always ready for tip-off. And Grainger is your trusted partner, offering the products you need all in one place, from HVAC and plumbing supplies to lighting and more, and all delivered with plenty of time left on the clock, so your team always gets the win. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, visit Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ian Fitzsimmons here, and I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I was skeptical about ordering plants online. Like, this is actually going to show up alive at my house. But after my wife and I ordered from Fast Growing Trees, convinced. They have this thing down to a science. They've built a whole system to protect your plants until they arrive. They even have a lab where they test against cold, heat, humidity, you name it, any condition, they've got it. And they thrive. We couldn't believe how good our plants looked when they arrived at our doorstep. And everything showed up exactly how we expected. A perfectly healthy plant that was easy to unbox and ready to go. Every order is backed by their Alive and Thrive guarantee. And you'll get ongoing support from real, knowledgeable experts. They have unbelievable deals on spring planting essentials, and right now, you can get an additional 20% off your first order with the code SPORTS at checkout. That's 20% off at fastgrowingtrees.com with the code SPORTS. Terms and conditions apply. Again, that's fastgrowingtrees.com, code SPORTS.
When your business grows, communication can get messy fast. Calls come in, texts stack up, and suddenly your team is working in different places without the full picture. That's where Quo comes in. Quo gives your business one shared number, so every call and text lives in one place. Your whole team can see the entire history. Everything stays connected, and nothing falls through the cracks. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Get started free, plus get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/ESPN. That's QUO.com/ESPN.
And there will be Game 7 Saturday night in Oklahoma City.
They say it's the best line in sports, I believe.
Every game is earned. Game 7 will be no different.
I think there's been a lot of legendary Game 7s.
Anything can happen in a Game 7. Like, it's win or go home.
Somebody's season is going to end that night. We don't want it to be ours.
Take the lessons from tonight that are relevant for Game 7 and be ready to go out there and throw our best punch.
And I would expect to get their best punch. We're going to go with our eyes wide open and expect nothing less.
OKC, San Antonio, Game 7, Western Conference Final. Yes, sign me up. We got that. It's game night on ESPN Radio. The all-new ESPN app. SiriusXM Channel 80 and tune in. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. He's Gabe Neitzel. I'm Q Myers. Don't forget the NBA playoffs are on ESPN Radio. Catch postseason action on ESPN Radio on the ESPN app. That is presented by Gusto. Join us now on the phone line as a man that will be part of the broadcast when it comes to Game 7 in OKC, and that's PJ Carlissimo, ESPN Radio NBA analyst. And PJ, thanks so much for your time. Definitely appreciate you. Heard you on the call for Game 6, and you were talking about, you know, a lot of folks throwing dirt on the name of the San Antonio Spurs because they're so young. They haven't been there. They haven't done that. How have you personally seen the Spurs kind of mature throughout the course of this Western Conference Finals?
Well, kids are unbelievable. I mean, let's start with Wemby. They've got a, you know, he's incredible. He does stuff every game that you just don't see. I mean, if you watch 3 San Antonio games, you're going to see something that nobody else does, which is absolutely amazing. So it starts with him, but their other guys, their other young talent is is very, very good.
Coach, when you take a look at the Spurs, this is another first for them now, their first Game 7. What's it like going into your first Game 7 as a player, as a coach?
Well, it's different. There's no question about that. I mean, you don't play. That's the biggest difference, in professional sports, the ones that play best of 7. It's not like the NCAA where it's one shot. You win, you advance, you lose, you go home, and that's what happens. One of these two teams, they're the two best teams in the NBA all year. One of them is going to put their uniforms away tomorrow, and their season comes to a real, as good a year as they've both had, they'll both be enormously disappointed. Probably the Thunder more so because they're the defending champs. But you just don't deal with this. Seventh game is a different mentality, and you never know how people are gonna react. Some of the young Spurs dealt with it. You got guys like Stephon Castle. You got guys who played in the NCAA in a lose and go home deal. So I don't think that's going to be a factor. This series has been, Dave, I tell you can't figure it out. There's no correlation whatsoever from one game to the next. I mean, we think we've got it figured out. Somebody doesn't play well and they're in trouble, and then they bounce back and dominate the other team. I mean, really, the last 4 games have been very one-sided. They were good games for a while, some of them for 2 quarters, some of them even for 3. And then they end up with 15 or 20-point games. It makes no sense at all. Two teams that are as closely matched as these guys are. They're both really good defensively. They're both really good offensively. They both have a great player. The difference, I hate to say it, I hope it doesn't come down to this, but someone told Kesty when we got off the plane in OKC said that they already ruled J-Dub out for tomorrow. That's very significant. If Jalen Williams can't play, and if A.J. Mitchell can't play, that's a hit. It was a real problem for the Spurs early in the series when De'Aaron Fox was out and Dylan Harper was not right. Dylan Harper certainly looked right in Game 6. He looks like he's back. De'Aaron Fox is still not moving well, but he makes such a difference because he takes care of the ball. Spurs had 13 turnovers. Last game, and that's De'Aaron Fox. He's not shooting the ball well, but his assist to turnover is really good. He gets them getting up and down the floor. I don't think he has the lateral quickness right now. So, I mean, De'Aaron Fox health would be important, but if OKC's got to go without J-Dub and without A.J. Mitchell, that's very significant. You're talking, they're both starters. I mean, when they were healthy, they're not just starters, they're major contributor starters. So I don't want that to be a factor. I would like to see both teams play well. It really hasn't happened since Game 1. I'd just love to see a 48-minute game, hopefully a one-possession game, and both of these teams play the way they're capable of playing.
PJ Carlesimo, ESPN Radio NBA analyst with us here on Game Night on ESPN Radio and the all-new ESPN app. SGA hasn't necessarily had an SGA-type series. He had a really good Game 5, dropping 32 points. How do you expect him to bounce back in Game 7 at home, knowing what's on the line?
No question he'll bounce back. I mean, his track record is so good. He's been so consistent for so long. They're just throwing bodies at him. It's really been difficult. I mean, the reason that the Spurs have been such a good matchup all year for OKC is they have really good wings also. They've got really good, talented wing players who can defend. And, at different times, it's primarily been Stephon Castle. Devin Vassell's been on him an awful lot. Dylan Harper's been on him an awful lot. Julian Champagnie comes off the bench, and he's been on him. De'Aaron Fox has guarded him. They have a lot of bodies they can throw at Shea. Some of them are even longer than he is, so they can contest his shots. And they're channeling him, constantly to Wemby. I mean, Shea gets where he wants to go, and he prefers to go left, and he loves the little, the pull-up, the mid-range shot. But so many times when, the guys that are defending him, they're being very physical. They're taking him into Wemby, and all of a sudden it's not just, your normal pull-up. It's your normal pull-up over a guy that's like 7'5", and his wingspan feels like it's like 10 feet long. So it's been difficult for Shea. I still think he's played very well. He's making a lot of good decisions. He's getting the assists. I would be very, very surprised if he doesn't have a big game tomorrow night. He's just too good a player. I mean, he's a great, great talent, and he's a money player. So I think he's going to step up, and I think he's going to have to step up, especially if J-Dub and AJ don't play.
Well, in terms of those role players for OKC, Coach, one guy who stepped up is Alex Caruso. And you're smart. You've been around the game for a minute, so I need your help. How does Caruso go from 29% three during the regular season to Steph Curry shooting 47%, hitting 3-4 threes a game in this series?
He's a gamer. He's an unbelievable competitor. I wouldn't have said he's going to shoot 60% from three after he shot, what he shot in the regular season. But he's such a tough competitor. I mean, even if he wasn't making the threes, the steals, the plays, the taking the ball to the basket, the assists, the block shots off the ball, the things he does would be worth it. He's a money player. Some guys play better in bigger games. Alex Caruso, his MO has always been to play better in the playoffs than he does in the regular season. And I just think they didn't use him a lot of minutes in the regular season. Mark Daigneault knows exactly what he has, so they didn't count on him as much. They just knew that he'd be there come the end of the year. I mean, you guys remember very well last year. He was one of their best. I'll be conservative and say three. He was one of their three best players. He did the same thing last year in the playoffs. He was unbelievable. He's a winner, and he plays better at home, frankly. He's going to play better tomorrow night. He loves playing here in Paycom. I'm sitting outside looking at Paycom right now. He's going to play. There's, if I'm Mark Daigneault, the two guys I'm not worried about at all are Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Alex Caruso. There's no question how they've played, and Isaiah Hartenstein's done a really nice job also. His offensive rebounding, he's shooting that little push shot, he shoots, gets it over Wemby, and he makes things difficult for Wemby because he's a very physical player. And I think OKC's probably encouraged because I thought Game 6, and partially Game 5, but definitely Game 6, are the two best games that Chet Holmgren's played in the playoffs so far, in this series so far. So he's playing more like, the Chet Holmgren that ended up being a third-team All-NBA player. First 4 games, he really didn't play like that, but the last 2, he has.
Coach, we'll close out with this. It's fantastic. Again, PJ Carlesimo is with us here on Game Night on ESPN Radio and the all-new ESPN app. What have you seen from Coach Mitch Johnson and his maturity? They always say you don't want to be the man to replace the man. He's replacing the man in Greg Popovich, and how has he matured in your eyes?
You cannot do a better job than Mitch Johnson's done stepping in for Pop. Now, he had the great advantage that he worked with Pop for so many years, but he already had the trust of the players, which is enormous. Even as young as Mitch is, the players were on board. When he was the interim guy, they wanted him to be the full-time guy. He did a good job when he was the interim guy, but he'd already won the players over. He'd been there for so long. They knew his work ethic. They knew what a good teacher he was on the floor. He had a great relationship with Wemby. He was the guy that worked with Wemby from day one when he came. So all those things added up. That put him in good position. But it didn't guarantee that he's going to make the decisions that he's made with this team this year. This team is so well coached. They play so well. They bounce back. Everybody was saying before Game 6, it was a great run for the Spurs, but, come on, they can't do this. This is asking too much. Every challenge that they've had, they've met. And Mitch Johnson and the fact that he's so calm, that he's so confident about this team, that he can get on them. They play so hard on the defensive end. They run. They shoot the three when it's open. They play up-tempo on offense. Players love playing for him. And he and the other guy that doesn't get much credit is Brian Wright, the general manager. When you talk about shadows, R.C. Buford and Greg Popovich, nobody casts bigger shadows than those two guys, or there's no bigger shoes to fill. And Brian Wright and Mitch Johnson have done an incredible job stepping in and leading this team now.
ESPN Radio's coverage of Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals begins Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. PJ will be on the call with Mark Kesher and George Sedano. Every game in the NBA Finals will be on ESPN Radio with PJ, Mark, George, and Doris Burke on the call. PJ, fantastic stuff as always. Thanks so much for your time. Enjoy Game 7. We always appreciate you.
Thank you, Gabe and Q. Great being with you guys. Thanks very much.
Absolutely. Thank you. Great stuff right there. PJ Carlesimo, again, ESPN Radio NBA analyst, and I think everyone's pretty fired up for this Game 7. It's going to be a hell of a chess match, and I definitely look forward to it. Real quick, Gabe, it went final. UCLA won 11-0 over Arkansas, but check out this fun fact. UCLA had 4 home runs on the night. Arkansas had 3 hits total.
Oof. Look, I understand, when we get to college, baseball, college softball, we've got the run rule, right? So they only played 5 innings tonight because UCLA won 11-0. What's the harm in letting them play 2 more innings? See how many more home runs UCLA can hit. Right?
You're a cold piece of work, man. You're a cold piece of work.
I'm just saying, I just part of sports is entertainment.
As badly as possible.
Man, telling you. How about this? UCLA scored 9 runs in the second inning, tied the second most in a single inning by any team in Women's College World Series history. UCLA's 12th time hitting 3+ home runs in the inning this season for tied the most in D1. I mean, that alone right there is incredible. Oh, but that's not where it stops, Gabe. They've got a few more little stats that I'd like to pass by you. 4 different players hit home run, ties the most in Women's College World Series game. UCLA has done that 4 times. It's only happened 6 total times. Florida has the other 2 times, including once versus UCLA. So they've been involved in 5 of them. And 4 total home runs so far is tied for the second most in Women's College World Series game. And who knows what they're going to do in the next game. They might go for 5. And like you said, if they had actually played 7, they probably would have hit a couple more.
Part of the fun for me, because I don't have a rooting interest in the College World Series when that comes around in a couple weeks, Women's College World Series, is kind of picking a team along the way, and I enjoy watching Texas Tech. They got so close to winning the championship last year, back there this year, now have the opportunity to claim that national championship that they fell short of last year. I don't know, I'm kind of all in right now on UCLA and just hitting a bunch of dingers, man. I think I might be rooting for UCLA to come through the losers side of the bracket on this side and try to advance to the final.
UCLA's pitching's not great, but when you're hitting 4 or 5 home runs a game, who cares?
How good has it got to be? How good's it got to be, Q? You getting 5 home runs a night?
I'll take my chances, right? I'll take my chances. They win 11-0. I'm not mad at that at all. I'm still salty that Oklahoma's not playing, but that's a me thing, not everyone else. But congratulations to UCLA. They advance, and unfortunately for Arkansas, they see their season come to a close. He's Gabe Neitzel. I'm Q Myers. A.J. Brown, could he be on the move as early as Monday? That's next on ESPN Radio on the all-new ESPN app.
The ESPN app is your new home for WWE Premium Live events. And to get in the ring, you need the ESPN Unlimited plan. Just head to activate.espn.com, follow the steps to get set up, and boom, the biggest WWE live events. All in one place, Zeus. Anytime, anywhere.
Buster Olney here for La Quinta by Wyndham. Summer work travel can feel like extra innings. Long days, late nights, and not a lot of room to stretch out. Especially when your hotel room feels more like the dugout than the clubhouse. But when you stay at La Quinta by Wyndham, you can step up to spacious suites that give you room to relax, recharge, and get ready for the next day. I always feel like I need that when I'm traveling on the road covering ball games. Plus, you can earn Wyndham Rewards points with every qualified stay. Because when you've got space to unwind, you're always playing at your best. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book your next work trip at laquinta.com. Terms and conditions apply.
It's Charles Barkley here with Wayfair. And let me tell you, game day is serious business at my house. If I'm grilling, chilling, and watching hoops, my outdoor setup better be ready to play. That's where Wayfair wins. From patio seating and umbrellas to grills and grill accessories, Wayfair's got it all, and it shows up fast. I'm talking fast and easy delivery. So level up your grill game and your outdoor chill game. And head to Wayfair.com to get your outdoor space ready for the season.
Wayfair, every style, every home. Smalls here. If you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk most people don't think about until it's too late. Summer colds can turn into sinus infections that last weeks, ruining your perfect vacation getaway. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and a pharmacy, it's stressful. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having an urgent care and a pharmacy at home. It includes prescriptions like amoxicillin and generic Z-Pak to treat a wide range of illnesses. So if you wake up sick, at home, or on the road, you have what you need. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, and no pharmacy lines. Also, no copays. Match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor. Start meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs a medical emergency kit, so order yours online in minutes. It's shipped right to your door. Save $45 with my promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. That's promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls.
Prescription required. Always consult your doctor to determine if this product is right for you.
When energy dips or focus feels off, hydration is often the missing piece. That's where Drip Drop comes in. Drip Drop is doctor-developed, proven fast hydration that helps your body and mind work better. Exactly what the 2026 version of you needs. Using science-based formulas for rapid hydration, Drip Drop helps you feel results fast while delivering 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. It's trusted by firefighters, medical professionals, and over 90% of top college and pro sports teams because it's engineered to hydrate more effectively than water alone, making it a smart choice for better habits that actually stick. Drip Drop also just dropped Zero Sugar Plus, a breakthrough formula with an advanced blend of 6 key electrolytes, 15 essential vitamins and nutrients, and no sugar or artificial sweeteners. It's the complete package that truly checks all the boxes. Across the board, Drip Drop tastes amazing, with 16 original flavors and 8 Zero Sugar Plus options that fit seamlessly into a daily routine. And flexible subscription options make it easy to stay consistent. Right now, Drip Drop is offering our listeners 20% off your first order. Go to dripdrop.com and use promo code SPORTS. That's dripdrop.com, promo code SPORTS for 20% off. Stock up now at dripdrop.com and use promo code SPORTS.
Oh, I love Jalen. I mean, there's no bigger fan of Jalen than me.
Something is not right in Philly, and we have had that consistent conversation.
It's been 2 years of struggles in the passing game. A.J. Brown showed his frustration nearly every week, so we just sought out what the true problems were, and Jalen Hurts is